Hi, I'm Ralf Friedrichs. Welcome to Grand Central Station. The train to be here any minute, so if you're ready to get your life back on track, hop aboard. Let's go to www.clearviews.info, where I'll show you how a sober today can make a better tomorrow. If you're ready to get your life back on track, hop aboard the train coming in about 2 minutes. Thank you, and have a great day. www.clearviews.info. Good morning. Welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today's feature presentation is how to come back after relapse. So grab your popcorn, grab your soda, get back within 5 minutes for today's presentation of how to come back after relapse. Sit back, relax, kick your feet up, and enjoy the program. A sober today makes for a better tomorrow. Good morning. Welcome to Take Your Life Back. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I hope everybody grabbed their popcorn, grabbed your soda, because we're going to have a good time, and we're going to talk about an important subject, and that subject is how to come back from a relapse. So sit back and enjoy the show. But before I go any further, what I'd like to do is read of what is considered hitting rock bottom, because we speak about hitting rock bottom constantly, and I always mention that you'll know when you hit rock bottom. So let me read it to you, and that's something I don't have memorized, so I'm going to read it. What does it mean to hit rock bottom? When it comes to alcohol and drug addiction, hitting rock bottom means that the user comes to a place where he decides he does not wish to continue living the way he is living. In other words, I just can't do this anymore. Like I always say, I'm done with the alcohol, I'm done with the drugs. And hopefully he is now ready to make changes. Low bottoms and high bottoms, just to go in there. Some addicts have devastatingly low bottoms, while others have surprisingly high ones. Anyone can take a look at a low bottom addict and clearly see that these are individuals who've lost their stuff: cars, homes, jobs, relationships, etc. The list goes on, folks. The high bottom addicts, on the other hand, are those who haven't lost their stuff yet. They might become a low bottom one eventually. These individuals have more than likely met some incident which warrants a serious look at their own personal situation. Like I would say, is get up and stand back and take an inventory. So you have the two different types. You have a low and a high bottom individual. And denial, the disease of addiction, is the only illness people can experience and yet remain oblivious to the fact that they have a serious ailment. So you have a high, a low bottom person, and let's go over and recap. Let me just shut this off. A low bottom person is a person that has lost materialistic things: their homes, their wife, their husband, their cars. I shouldn't have said husband and wife as materialistic, but anyway, you get what I'm saying, is they've lost about everything. A high bottom person just hasn't reached that plateau yet. They know they have a problem, but they just haven't reached that yet. And denial is that you know that there exists something, but you just refuse, no matter what, to address the situation. Before we jump right into how to come back after relapse, what I want to do is just give a quick shout out to two people. The first one is Time to Heal, which is a recovery talk TV show. Host Pam Hemphill, a dear friend of mine. We speak regularly via private message or texting, and she's gracious enough to put my commercials on her show. You can find her videos either on YouTube, you can go to Facebook under Time to Heal, or you can go actually now directly to www.clearviews.info. That's CLEARVIEWS.info. I gave her a separate page on my website, and if you are looking for that page, go to that website and just look for where it says Time to Heal. I also want to give a shout out to Starting Point, which is Dr. Luis Gonzalez. Starting Point is a service. They provide one of two services or both. The one aspect of their business is what they do is they, if you are in recovery or seeking sobriety, what you can do is actually retain their services, and they can actually help you through your recovery. They can coach you and such. Now, if you want to become a addiction recovery coach, you can also get a hold of Dr. Luis Gonzalez, and he will also put you through their program and upon graduation make you a certified addiction recovery coach. You can reach him as 1-844-414-8444 or at www.startingpointmn.com. That's StartingPointMN.com. So shout out to Pam Hemphill and Dr. Luis Gonzalez. Anyway, I did promise you guys during my last show that I didn't have a 1-800 number for the National Institute on Drug Abuse. So here it is. It's 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-HELP, and that is a hotline. They have people standing by 24 hours, 7 days a week to help you, and they also have over 170 different languages. So you can utilize them no matter what language you speak, and hopefully you're within that 170 languages that they can translate. All calls are confidential and they will not release any information. You can also, if you want to chat with them, go on www.thehotline.org. That's thehotline.org. Their advocates offer the same support through our live chatting as they would if you went to make the phone call. When you do want to chat, just go to the icon that says chat, click, speak. Let them know what you need help with. Also, we spoke about another hotline, which was for domestic abuse. And domestic abuse hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-SAFE. So now you have 1-800-662-HELP, and that is for National Institute of Drug Abuse. And for the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-SAFE. They also have the capability of 170 different languages. So again, you can also chat with them. Do it in the same way. Look for their little chat button. Click the button, speak to them. Your safety is their priority, so all phone calls and chats are completely confidential. Learn more about their privacy and safety. Go right to their website. That is www.thehotline.org. Okay, folks, you're sitting down in the theater here. Hopefully you have your popcorn, your candy, and your soda, and hopefully you don't have any substance, such as beer, whiskey, wine, marijuana, synthetic drugs, alcohol. I don't want any of that in this theater because now it's showtime. We are going to talk about how to come back from after a relapse. Because you know what? We've been talking about a lot of stressful topics: domestic abuse, synthetic drugs, prescription drug abuse, alcohol, a lot of stressful topics that have brought our situation down a little because it's very stressful to have to listen to it. But you know what? If I don't speak the voice of reason and let you know what's out there, you won't know. Or you do know, but this reinforces what you already know. So what is a relapse? Now this information came directly from the Mayo Clinic again, so I'm going to read it. A relapse. Maybe you had hoped you'd never go there. You were hoping you'd never have a relapse because when you said, "I'm done," you truly probably meant it just as much as I meant it 6-7 times. But it does happen where you will have a relapse. And that's where we just spoke about the rock bottom, because you will know when you hit rock bottom. Or maybe you stay awake at night thinking you will relapse. Folks, you can't worry about the relapse. I know a relapse is the worst thing that could probably happen, and you need to go 24 hours a day. Let God guide and direct you. Maybe you've just realized you're already there. Maybe you think you're going to have that relapse any second now. I prefer to use the term setback. What is the difference between a relapse and a setback? A relapse is when I get sucked back into the black hole of depression. Bam! Relapse sounds a permanent situation that you can't get out. A setback, on the other hand, is something that you can pick yourself up, pull yourself up, dust your knees, and folks, move on. Take a self-inventory. Start again. A setback and a relapse. Two different things. Why don't you, if you relapse, forget the word relapse and say it's a setback in life and I will keep going. It's like trying to learn how to ride a two-wheel bike and you fall off. You don't stop trying, you keep going. So when you officially have a relapse, don't look at it as failure, look at it as a setback, and get and go. Let's continue. Where were we? Okay, stuck inside a brain that looks for relief, any form of relief. So when you start getting depressed and you have a lot of stress issues going on, your brain is saying, I need relief. And your brain is feeding you this information, and you're probably saying, okay, the only way I can get relief is with alcohol and or drugs. Wrong. There are many other ways for relief, and we're going to discuss some of those things. The first thing you need to do is listen to the right people. What are the right people? People that are fighting addiction, people in recovery, people in your family. What are the wrong people? The people that are sitting in a bar and saying it's no big deal. The people that are selling you the drugs, those are the wrong people. So let's see what the Mayo Clinic says about the right people. Or I should say, they advertise this article on there. They might not be saying it directly, but they advertise it, so I trust it. Listen to the right people. If you're convinced that you are lazy, ugly, if you're convinced that you are lazy, ugly, stupid, weak, pathetic, and self-absorbed when you are depressed or have given into addiction, unconsciously you seek the people, places, and things that will confirm those opinions. Seek positive people. People that lift you up. People that won't put you down. Excuse me 1 second, I'm just adjusting my phone. Sorry folks, I left my phone on. I'm trying to do this in a quick matter because I do have company coming like I discussed previously. So we are going to hopefully do this within an hour, and again I apologize. So the positive people in your life are the ones that are going to reinforce you and convince you that your relapse is a setback, not a permanent situation. And when you do have your setback, don't go back to the old routines. Don't go back to the old drug abuse. Keep going forward. Next one, make time to cry. You know what? I am a veteran of the Marine Corps, and people look at veteran Marines or any tough person from the military as people that shouldn't ever cry. But I'm telling you, and I'm telling you right now, crying is good for you. And I'll tell you why. Here's what crying does for you. Your body essentially purges toxins when you weep. It's all if all your emotions are building to the surface, and when you cry, you release them, which is why it's so cathartic. Do you understand that? Allowing yourself 10 to 15 minutes in the morning to have a good cry, to say whatever you want without care, to let it out and not to judge it. Folks, I'm not saying to go and walk into 7-Eleven and get yourself a Slurpee and to start crying, but why not make it part of your routine in the morning or at night? You don't have to do it in the morning, but it's probably better in the morning because it gives you the whole day then to get past that, because if you do that at night, you might have a problem going to sleep. But why not make it part of your routine when you're putting on your makeup, when you're doing whatever you do in the morning to prepare yourself for the day? It's just to think about what's upsetting and just release the tears, the toxins. Get it all out of your system. Think about it, but don't judge it, and continue and think positive. Distract yourself. Instead of sitting down with some self-books, what is a self-book? Instead of sitting down and just reading a book, and possibly a book that might depress you or whatever, you will be better off doing whatever you can to distract yourself. Do mindless things, like word puzzles and reading trashy novels, something very nasty, I guess is what trashy is. I don't know what they mean by trashy, but I'll let your mind make that up. So do the word puzzles, do the trashy novels. Recently, as maybe last week, were you thinking about going to a football game or a baseball game? That is so healthy for your mind, because you're around a lot of people who are having a good time. And hopefully your team doesn't win, because we don't need you to be upset, do we? Which will, all those things, the football game, the basketball, hockey, basketball, they will all take your mind off the thoughts for a few hours at least, even out of your 24-hour goal of sobriety. If you have 4 hours of having a good time. That leaves you only 20 hours to work with. Folks, that is an excellent situation for you then. Athletic games offer a lot to watch besides the cheerleaders. For you guys, enjoy the cheerleaders. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's more than that. There's the golds, there's the baskets, whatever. But enjoy it. Take your wife, husbands. Wives take your husbands. So what? Let them look at the cheerleaders. At the end of the day, sobriety is what counts. Like my children trying to score all kinds of junk food. In other words, your children constantly looking for that junk food. Splurge on yourself. Go out and have a good time. Eat the popcorn, eat the hot dogs, eat the pizza. There's nothing wrong with that. Look for signs of hope. Look for signs of hope. There is so much hope out there, but what you have to have is a clear mind here to have the hope so you can clearly see it out there. Because if you can't see the clarity, or with clarity, you don't know what's out there. And what hope do you have? Right now, if you're still consuming alcohol and or drugs, your hope every day is, I hope I get my next fix. Well, when you get rid of all that and you actually go and seek sobriety, your next hope is, how do I go out with my wife or my husband and have a good time? How can I enjoy going out to these athletic events? How can I help you, a person that has an addiction? How can I go out with other people that are in recovery? How can I share my stories with other people and listen to their stories? That is all hope, and I guarantee you, if you follow the directions of how to come back after relapse, which is only a setback, you will have that hope. Make necessary adjustments. Sometimes a relapse or a setback can signal that you need to make an adjustment in your life. Of course, because now, let's say you were sober for about a month and you had a setback or a relapse. It maybe could be because you get almost to a point of being cocky about it, or you put your guard down and you weren't paying attention, because each and every 24 hours a day, like I always say in all my videos, is an educational day for you. You need to feed your mind here to keep your sobriety in your living room and in your kitchen there. Because without putting it in here, it's not going to happen. You cannot just say, I quit drinking and not worry about it. It doesn't work. You can't lose weight on a diet if you don't exercise and watch what you eat. And the same applies to addiction recovery. You need to apply whatever tools are necessary to continuously give you another 24 hours. You notice I didn't say to make you sober forever. To continuously give you another 24 hours, you need to apply the tools. And the tools are, we're going to discuss that in a little bit. We'll discuss some of the tools. I don't want to discuss it now because I'm getting off track. So let's go back right there. You might be a fragile creature who has an illness called addiction. You might be. I'm not a fragile one. I'm kind of like a bully creature with an addiction. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a bully, but I have an addiction problem. Because of that, I can't expect myself to work at a maniac rate and not suffer some consequences. My friend up north, I told you this, you gotta slow down, because you will have setbacks, you will have relapse. Sit back, do your shift, and there are other things besides work and life, and the most important thing besides your family is you. It's actually more important, because without you not being here, your family isn't part of that equation. Do you understand what I'm saying? How to come back after a relapse or a setback. This is how they say it, but I wrote it as I would be speaking to you. I suggest a policy whereby you always say yes to an invitation out. So if somebody says to you, let's go out and have coffee and all. Let's go out to the movies, where you are right now watching my show at the theater with your popcorn in one hand and your soda in the other hand. When they ask you to go out, say yes. That keeps you from isolating yourself, which is so easy to do when you're down or stuck in depression or off the wagon in a big way. Go out and do. Don't sit in a corner and say, I had a setback, I had a relapse, and start suffering because of judgmental thoughts. Pick yourself up, go out to that movie theater, go out to the coffee shop, go to Walmart, wherever you want to go. follow my advice, please follow that advice because it works for me. I don't just sit back. I can't just sit back. There's a couple times in a day I do sit back, and that's from my general hospital because I will not do anything while I'm watching that. And it's to sit back at night to spend a little quality time watching TV with my wife. Her day and my day are very busy. We're like two ships in the sea. We pass each other. That's about it. But at night, we get to see each other. We watch TV together for a little bit and then get ready for the next day again. And that's how our lives are. But you need to go out. So when you follow my advice, when a friend asks you to have coffee and you really hope he or she doesn't ask you, you have to say yes. Not just to coffee, to anything, to go out. If they ask you to go to the bar, say no. If they ask you to go to the local corner deli outside where the guy's pushing drugs, say no. But anything positive, say yes. It's non-negotiable. It's not even a thought. Even when you folks that you utilize AA, go to the meetings. Do the 90 and 90 program, what they have. Absolutely at AA. Go to the meetings. But you have to do everything in moderation, including your work, including going out. And you have to do everything with tools of educational addiction recovery methods. Until you feel better and get back on track, that's what you have to do. In other words, if you fell off and you have a setback and you have a relapse, listen to what I'm telling you. Break your day into moments. This is for some people that have issues even with 24 hours. So here's how it's explained. Most depressives and addicts would agree that a day at a time simply doesn't cut it. It's just too long. Some people say 24 hours. I'm only at my second hour. I still have 22 hours to go. It's just too much. It's overwhelming. That's why 24 hours is a goal. Not 48, not 3 weeks. 24 hours is a goal. I have to go... where was I? Okay, let me read it again. Most depressives and addicts would agree that a day at a time simply doesn't cut it, and it doesn't for some people. That's way too long, they say, especially first thing in the morning. You wake up and you say, oh my God, I still have 24 hours now? Are you kidding me? I have to get to bedtime. Are you kidding me? They say again. So when you're rear-ended in the moments, each minute has a few moments. Cut it down, 24, make it 3 shifts at 8. Make it 4 shifts at 6. Right now, it's 11 o'clock. I only have to worry about what I'm doing right now until what time? 11:02. Break it down into minutes. Whatever it takes for you to seek sobriety. But do not exceed 24 hours. Break it down to 24 minutes. Break it down to 48 half an hours. Break it down to whatever you want. I don't have a calculator. Break it down into seconds, and I doubt anyone out there will even do that. But you never know. So break your day into moments. So those are some examples on how to come back after a relapse, or as I choose to call, a setback. Relapse sounds permanent. Setback sounds something that you can rebound from. Worst thing to do, folks, is to get a new relationship during recovery. It's a major threat to sobriety. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to have to read this. Alcohol and drug abuse and addiction are bad for relationships. That is the plain and simple truth of it. But perhaps more interestingly, new relationships themselves can be put the recovering alcoholic or addict's chances of complete recovery at risk. In fact, new relationships during recovery are a major threat to sobriety. Why is that? Recovering alcoholics and addicts are especially sensitive to these strong negative emotions as they are already dealing with something that is emotionally taxing. So now you have two things to worry about: a new relationship and your recovery. Though it isn't in a case for every scenario, because there are some strong people, starting a new romantic relationship is generally not a very good idea for someone going through recovery. And it certainly isn't a good replacement strategy. So, folks, pretty much what they're saying is that, okay, so because of your addiction and you a low bottom person. You lost your house, you lost your car, you lost possibly your husband and your wife. Don't replace your husband or wife with a brand new relationship while you're that sensitive in your first phases of recovery. They don't go hand in hand. You need to work on yourself. You need your self-inventory. You need to work in your mind of your action plans for the future 24 hours. Give it about 6 to 12 months and then start looking. Start going on relationships. You can have friends, but a relationship is something that a person that meets another person, they get so involved that you might get off the train of recovery. And then it's where I stand as the conductor on this train and I say, get back on track and get on board. What is replacement strategy? Let me read it to you. In most basic sense, a replacement strategy is a way for a recovering alcoholic or addict to replace their old lifestyle, especially drug and alcohol abuse, or someone in their life that they lost. A replacement strategy also takes place of the attitudes and beliefs that go along with such an addiction. In addition, a replacement strategy serves to introduce the person in recovery to new friends and acquaintances, developing a new social circle away from their life as an addict. That is replacement strategy. Hang around with people in recovery. Hang around with people in AA. Hang around with people at the program if that's what you need to do to check in. We're going to discuss that. Hang around with people that are positive. Hang around with me. Text me, 631-599-0218. Email me, Ralf.Friedrichs@yahoo.com. Ralf.Friedrichs@yahoo.com. Email me. You can go on my website. Leave me a comment. www.clearviews.info. CLEARVIEWS.info. Go on Facebook. There are so many people that want to help you, because when we help you, you help us. Me doing this video, believe it or not, is helping me because I am absorbing what I am reading to you. I've already addressed this issue when I prepared for this show. So I've already read it. But if you notice on every single video, the more I talk about it, I do recaps. So the more I do my recaps, the better my message is to you. The more I understand it. Because when I believe it here, I achieve it here, in my living room, or in your living room, or in your kitchen, or wherever you might be watching. You might be sitting at Starbucks having a cup of coffee. That's for the people not in the theater right now. The people in the theater, you have your popcorn, you have your soda, you have your iced tea. You're enjoying this show. But listen to what I'm saying, and I will repeat some of these things, so listen to what I'm saying. Why new romantic relationships can be dangerous in recovery. Let's read it. Oftentimes, freshly recovering addicts and alcoholics become involved in new romantic relationships. The results are often devastating. Here's why. Recovering addicts and alcoholics often use their new relationship as a replacement strategy. You can't replace your wife or your husband that you lost, and you certainly can't go through recovery and not utilize the tools that are out there, that are on these videos for you, by getting a new relationship and not worrying about anything else, because you will relapse or set back. Not a good idea is what they say. One of the keys to success in early recovery is avoiding the emotional extremes that tend to trigger relapse or setback. But more often than not, new relationships have an emotional ups and downs that a recovering addict or alcohol just can't handle. You're having a hard enough time dealing with your addiction and your recovery action plans. Why bring another person into your life at this particular time that also has another emotion to add to your already full emotion recovery plan? It could be an up, down emotion, but still you don't need it. Let's go back to here. The heavy emotions that come with a new relationship, heck, with any relationship, can be hard for anyone to handle. When a new relationship goes sour, or when there's a bump in the road, it can easily trigger a setback or a relapse for the person in early recovery. Like any new relationship, Something can go wrong within a day, a week, a month. And what is going to happen when you and your new relationship, for whatever reason, split up? Is that going to trigger a stressor? We spoke about stressors. Stressors could be financial, could be emotional, could be job, it could be anything. Personal relationship, a new relationship gone sour. That's a stressor, and a stressor will stress you out enough to possibly relapse or setback. Alternative strategies. I'm going to read this again. Mind you, I'm going to remind you again, over and over again, that I do get the information from the Mayo Clinic for this particular one, but a lot of them. Mayo Clinic, the FDA, and the CDC, I'm sorry. So we get all that, and that's what we do. Okay, so let's get right back into it. Hold on one second. Okay, it's hard to tell someone not to see anyone new just because they are recovering from addiction. You can't do that. Folks, I will never tell you not to do it. It is my job to advise you what I learn, what I pick up from different clinics, different agencies. I give it to you. So you need to absorb that and do whatever you might want to do, but it is not recommended to start a brand new relationship. What I mean, everyone deserves to spend time with people that they share mutual attraction with. What does that mean? So you're attracted to the girl and as such. But it's bad timing. I know it's easier said than done, but it's bad timing. However, if you're in recovery, it is in your best interest to steer clear of romantic relationships for at least your first year of sobriety. I said 6 months or so. Listen to them, because I am also a recovering alcoholic. I am going through the 24-hour-a-day methods. They certainly have the experience. So let's just keep everybody happy and say 6 to 12 months, okay? Instead, spend your time alone. Time and create. Let me read that again. Instead, spend your alone time and create energy working with yourself. It's so small, this print that I have here. Establish friendships with other people in your meeting group. Like I said, your AA. If you're going to one, spend time with them. It's not to say that you happen to see a nice looking girl or a nice looking guy that you want to start a relationship. Spending time means share stories, work the tools of working with addiction recovery. If you do happen to meet someone that you are really interested in, you don't have to avoid them completely. Fill them in about your recovery. Make sure that they understand how difficult the process is and how sensitive you might be to anything new. Honesty and openness is the key here. Tell them, I am a recovering alcoholic, or I'm going through major drug addiction and I'm now seeking sobriety, and I have certain steps to go by and I have certain tools to apply to my life. Either you can work with me on that, meaning don't get too much involved in whatever I have to do, or can we just start off as friends and then possibly grow into a relationship? Honesty and openness is the key here. It goes without saying that if your new partner is more interested in partying and having fun than your emotional well-being and sobriety, your new relationship is going to be one-way ticket to relapse or setback. Folks, it's just not a good idea. But every bad idea or good idea always has exceptions now. You might have an exception. Not everybody's going to have an issue with it, but it is my job to let you know what is advised and not advised. So that is how to come back from a relapse and why new relationships in recovery are a major threat to sobriety. That is what it is. So let's go right into what are different methods of sobriety, or what are different methods on how to battle sobriety. It depends on how bad you are. Are you the type of person that's sitting here in your living room or at the theater right now where you're watching me? Are you sitting there and You think nobody's watching, and you have shot bottles in your pocket, and you're just going to throw them down because you think nobody's watching? Or are you the type of person also when you're home alone that'll drink a lot, but the minute somebody shows up, you'll stop? If you need to be supervised 24/7 because you don't trust yourself and you have no self-control when it comes to your alcohol and or drug addiction, which is perfectly normal because I've been there. I've never had to go to a rehab center, although maybe I should have, but with the grace of God, here I am. But maybe you need to check in. Go locate a treatment center. They offer 30, 60, 90-day programs, and if you go to my website, www.clearviews.info, go to page 7, and on page 7 you'll have every state. Click on your state, see if there is one right near you, a treatment center. If not, Google treatment centers and put down wherever you live. You're going to find every town has one or two, at least. If you want to try AA, they have this 12 methods or 12-step program. It works for a lot of people. Tons of people. They were established in 1936. I did go to AA. I don't know, 4 to 6 meetings. I just felt I needed more than just to sit in a room and exchange stories with other people. I needed more. I needed to have a more active role. A more active role like this, one-on-one. I don't need to sit in a room and over talk about the past. What I need to do is work on the future. What I need to do is exactly what I'm doing. But AA is a big, huge plus for the people that truly go there and for some, whatever reason, enjoy what they are offering. And I'm not saying they shouldn't enjoy it and whatever reason might be. It's just that every method has certain followers. Wasn't for me, but I guarantee you there are millions of people that go to AA and it does work for them. You can utilize my methods. My methods are pretty simple. I have my website, www.clearviews.info. On my website, you'll find tons of videos, about 30 of my own. Right now, I have about 7 from Time to Heal, Pam the host. So you have 7 of those. You have tons of articles and clippings from doctors, psychiatrists, and psychologists, and they are the ones that dispense the medical advice or the process of recovery. I just take their information and pass it on to you via my website, via my videos. So that's my method. My method works. I hope it works for you. Utilize whatever method you have, because no matter which way you look at it, my method, AA, or the rehab center, at the end of the day, our main goal is sobriety. So it doesn't matter how you get to sobriety. As long as you stay sober 24 hours a day, go out and help other people if you can, and continuously educate yourself. You need an action plan, and you need one daily. You don't just write one in January and for the whole year. Folks, when I do these shows, I don't come up with the action plan for the show for the next day until the night before. Yes, I could have done a couple of shows. I've done maybe 1 or 2 one time in the same day, but they were 30 minutes long. But when you start working on an hour show to do 2, I'm more or less taking things away from you because I won't be on the second taping, be as alert, be as direct as possible because I'm already worn out from the first show. So I have made a commitment. My action plan is to do 1 show at a time. Folks, a friendly reminder, next week, Monday and Tuesday, I have some web air training to do for certification for addiction recovery, so I won't be doing a show either one of those days. And I also remind you, I do have company coming tonight, and they will be here till the following Sunday, a week from Sunday. I will try to sneak a tape or 2 in. Actually, I won't try. I will definitely get at least 2 or 3 videos in next week. That is my promise to you because I feel I need to keep going. I need me to educate you so I can absorb the information from myself to keep me sober daily. But folks, without your higher power, Whether you utilize my methods, AA, or rehabs, and without your higher power, it doesn't work. You need to, whatever your higher power, in my case it's my God, reach out for direction, reach out for guidance daily. You need to do that. And when you do that, you'll see things will get better. Because in two things working together, it's your higher power and your recovering methods. When you have those two working together, you will succeed. Pick the method that works for you and you will succeed. That I promise you. But you need to have an action plan and you need to have that daily. You can't just say, I quit drinking. I have too many of those people already telling me that. Texas, Florida, Virginia, North Carolina, New Hampshire, up north. Except for the person up north, the other states, folks, you came to me, you had issues. I am here for you. Reach out to me. Reach out to me, please. I'm going to stress this over and over again. You cannot just reach out and say I have a problem and not follow up with action plans. Now, if you have an action plan that I'm not aware of, okay, that's great, but just let me know. If you don't want me to send you the videos, just let me know. 631-599-0218. Text me. Go to my website, www.clearviews.info. Go to my email, Ralf.Friedrichs@yahoo, Ralf.Friedrichs@yahoo.com. Just let me know. If you don't need my services, that's fine. If you are seeking services maybe a little closer to you or not online, that's, you know what, that's excellent. Not everybody can seek online services. But you can also utilize your online service provider, which would be me, in a sense. And you can also still go to AA at home or utilize the treatment center. You can utilize both. Nobody says you can't double dip. You can. So double dip. Get as much information as possible. Get as much education as possible. And it will work. Again, Time to Heal, Recovery TV talk show. Host Pam Hemphill. And she's over on Facebook and on YouTube. You can also find her now at www.clearviews.info. She has her own page. Starting Point. That is a organization that will do either one or both of things. Either one, help you with your recovery by coaching you, or make you a coach, or you can do both. A good coach, an addiction coach, is someone that is in sobriety or is in recovery, that has been sober. Because we know. So, you can utilize that. But anyway, Starting Point, you can go to Dr. Luis Gonzalez. He is there. If you go to my website, you'll see him. He's got 3 ads. He's got one in the center of my website, and he's got 2 on the left column. Read. Educate yourself on what he does for you. You can also reach him at 1-844-414-8444. That has a lot of 4s in that phone number. You can also find him on www.startingpoint.com. Excuse me, startingpointmn.com. Let me spell it. StartingPointMN.com. You can go to www.startingpointmn.com. Any of those things, as far as the information, you can also retrieve directly from my website, www.clearviews.info. CLEARVIEWS.info. So you can find that information there. Touch base again. National Institute on Drug Abuse. 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-HELP. They have a hotline 24/7. 170 different languages. Hopefully one of your, whatever language you speak is one of their availabilities. You also have the National Domestic Violence Hotline number, which is 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-SAFE. They have chatting. Both have chatting. So when you go on their website, go check their chat out. Press on the icon that says chat. Everything you talk to them is held in confidentiality. So you have that now. Let's recap how to come back from a relapse, or as I used to choose to call it, a setback, because folks, relapse is such a hard word. It's such a permanent situation, but a setback means exactly, it's to set you back, but you move forward. Listen to the right people. Listen to people in your recovery group. Listen to people in your church. Listen to people at your treatment center. Listen to me. Listen to God. Let God guide and direct you. Don't listen to people that are negative. Don't listen to people in bars trying to convince you to drink, or people that are going to smoke marijuana just one time they tell you. Don't listen to them. Listen to the right people. And if you do, I promise, things will get better. Just make time to cry. There is nothing wrong with crying. My example was as a veteran Marine. I still cry. We are all human with emotions. When you cry, you release a lot of stress out of your system. So there's nothing wrong with doing it. And then when you're done, let that issue go, whatever you cried about. Let it go. It's done. Distract yourself. Go to football, basketball, baseball games. Do that. Guys, go to the games. Look at those cheerleaders. Distract yourself. Forget about alcohol. Forget about drugs. Do the distraction method. It works. Go to bingo games. They work too. Look for signs of hope. Folks, when you start thinking clear here, you will find things that you are hoping for. They are out there, but you need to see them, and you need to see them with a clear mind, folks. The days of the blinders, the addiction that you're on, where you had those blinders on like a horse, those days are gone with recovery. You'll see what's to your left and to your right and what's up and what's down. You don't have this tunnel vision anymore. And at the end of that tunnel vision, what used to be a bottle of alcohol or marijuana or cocaine, now at the end of that tunnel, what you see is light. There is a light at the end of your tunnel, folks. Look for the sign of hope. Make necessary adjustments in your life. We have an addiction, all of us. And if you're sitting there and you don't have one and you're just sitting there to listen, that's great. Absorb the information, but pass it on to someone that you know that does have an addiction. Make the necessary adjustments in your life. How to come back after relapse. I suggest a policy whereby you always say yes to invitations out. If somebody says, let's go get coffee, yes. You want to go to the mall? Yes. You want to go to the bar? No. Do you want to go see the drug dealer at the corner? No. You want to go to a basketball game? Yes. You get what I'm saying. Pick and choose, but say yes to any positive thing. Say no to anything that's negative. Break your day into moments. Don't live by the 24-hour rule if you can't, if it's just too much. Nobody said you couldn't. What we are saying you have to is not live further than 24 hours. But break it up into 6-hour segments, into hour segments. Or in this case, it's 11 o'clock now. I'm not going to worry about anything until 11:02. Do it. It works. Let's go into the relationship issue. We talked about it's not a good idea, folks, to start a new relationship during recovery. All new relationships come with emotions. You're already so emotionally overdrawn, and your account is in the overdrawn base right now with emotions. You don't need to make a deposit with more emotions. Close the account for now. Keep outsiders out when it comes to emotions. Absorb inside people like recovery room people, people in addiction, with addictions that are recovering, people that are sober for a while. Those are the people. It's not to say that you couldn't handle a relationship. Don't get me wrong. I'm just advising what the Mayo Clinic is saying. You can possibly succeed. Nobody says everybody's going to do this, but majority of people can handle a new relationship. Because what happens if you go out with this person and after 2 weeks, something falls apart? Now, that's a stressor. Now you're going to be stressed out, and you possibly will have a relapse, or I choose to call a setback. So why invite the possibility of having a stressor? Folks, stressors are so important. What is a stressor? Stressors are financial, relationship, emotional, materialistic, many other things. Those are stresses. Any one of those I just mentioned, if something goes wrong with that particular subject or category, that is a stressor that will possibly cause you to have a setback or a relapse. It will. I have learned to deal with stress in the easiest way possible. How do I deal with stress? I take the situation at hand that is the stressor, I analyze it in my mind, and I come up with an action plan on how to solve this stressor, how to live with this stressor, how to live with my addiction. But if you let a situation like a new relationship that has gone sour come into your life, and that person leaves now, and you fall into that bottle again, or you fall on a pile of marijuana, and you self-absorb all this alcohol and drugs, you are going to have a hard time rebounding. You really will. But if you didn't have that extra emotion and you would have done the same thing as far as having that setback or that relapse, it's easier to rebound. Because now you're just dealing with your own emotions. You're not getting somebody else's luggage into your own life. So please, their advice is 12 months. Wait 12 months into sobriety. Then possibly go out and start a brand new relationship. I said 6 months. Be a happy medium. Anywhere in between, it doesn't matter. Only you know how strong you are. I never knew I was this strong until I hit rock bottom. And what is rock bottom? It's when you finally fall to the bottom of the pit and only can go up. That pit is the bottom. There is no basement to that pit. That's what hitting rock bottom is. So folks, utilize the methods, whether it's my method, AA, rehab center, utilize all of them if you need to. You can do all three. Go to a rehab center. Check yourself in if it's that bad. Go there. When you come out, you still need to continuously get educated on addiction. Just because you went to a rehab center for 30, 60, 90 days, when you come out doesn't mean that you still don't have a problem. No, what they are doing is they detoxed you to a point where you're starting to now live without the substance abuse, but you still need to continuously educate yourself. Here's an example. When I want to lose weight, for 3 months, I diet and I run, and I got myself to the weight I wanted. Does not mean that weight's going to stay the way it is unless I continuously do the same methods. Well, the same goes with addiction. When you come out of your program, whether it's a treatment center, you need to continuously educate yourself on addiction. That's the bottom line. There is no shortcut. So you need to commit yourself. But commit yourself till tomorrow, and then tomorrow to the next day, folks. It's that simple. There is no magical potion on addiction recovery. The only thing you need is your mind to know what you need to do, because if you believe it here, you achieve it wherever you are, sitting in this theater, sitting at home in the living room, kitchen. That is the simplest thing to do. Folks, I've stressed this over and over again. If you're really bad off, you had a really bad night, and you're looking at me and your chest is still hurting, your head's hurting, your blood pressure is sky high, your skin looks terrible, do yourself a favor and call 911. Call them. Let a doctor take a good physical look at you. Make sure that you're okay. Tell the doctor, be honest and tell the doctor how you got to this particular point. Whatever their recommendation is, listen. They are the doctors. If they say you need to go to rehab center, by all means go. If they want to send you or give you some kind of medication, beware. You don't want to detox and add new medication that you possibly might not need, because some of the medication they might give you is to make it easier for your detoxification by giving you something into your bloodstream that might give you a slight high. Folks, when I hit rock bottom with nothing going into my body. Nothing at all. A doctor did offer to give me something for people that drink that you can take daily. And what it does, it if you drink something with this medication that they give you, that you'll want to vomit or get sick. I contemplated it, because I wasn't strong enough to believe in myself. I contemplated it. I didn't do it. Thank God I didn't do it. Because I strengthened my mind with my action plans in addiction recovery by educating myself. Educating myself. Whether it being my videos, whether it being my website. Every day there's something new for me to look forward to when it comes to my recovery because of people like you watching me. You give me hope to continuously work on my addiction. As much as I want to help you, you don't even realize how you help me. And folks, if you think because you have a problem and everybody's watching and everybody's talking about you, it is not a conspiracy as we know it. People are talking about you and looking at you because they're probably saying, why isn't this man or woman getting help at this point? Pick yourself up. Find an action plan. You can get one. They're out there. I'm here 24 hours, 7 days a week. People reach out to me 2, 3 in the morning, folks. This is not a lie. People say to me, how do you keep going daily? Do you ever sleep? I do sleep. But the difference between now and the difference between before June 22nd, 2013 is that I am so clear that even if I only get 4 hours of sleep, I'm more energetic than when I got 12 hours of sleep when I was a drunk. Because that sleep was not a healthy sleep. It wasn't good for my mind. This is a healthy sleep. And I can go to bed every night full asleep knowing that I was productive during the day, that I made a difference in someone's life, maybe yours. That gives me hope. You know, we speak about looking for hope, and that gives you hope. Folks, find something that works for you. That's all I have to say. That's the only advice that I want you to listen to, that I want you to walk away from, is find something that works. All this that I just went over, you're probably going to forget a lot of it. I do constantly. That's why you got to refresh yourself some. And part of your mission of finding something that works is part of finding some action plans that will help you make it work. My friend up north, congratulations. Today is a month and a week for you. Like I say to everyone, let's not think of any relapses. If you have a setback, it's okay for anyone, not just my friend up north. If you have a setback, pick yourself up, take your self-inventory. Like my friend Rick Ellis says, lace up your boots, put on the big boy pants, and move on. So for my friend up north, get past it. If you had I don't know if you had a relapse or not, but I don't want to even use the word relapse. I'm saying if there's a setback because of your job, because of your hours, because of whatever reason, there's a setback, it's not the end of the world. You start again. No problem. I'm here no matter what. I will not give up on you, or I won't give up on my friends unless they don't want to in those states, Texas, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, New Hampshire. I won't give up on them unless they ask me not to send videos, not to address them directly. I won't give up on them. And even if they ask me, I will give up temporarily, but they will come back. And when they do, I will be here, open arms for them. I will show them out of the two paths in life. Sorry, I saw a cat coming. Out of the two paths in life, there's the right path and there's the wrong path. I will direct them to the sobriety, the sober, the addiction-free path. I will direct them that way. We've all faced that fork in the road. I've been that wrong direction. I've been there, down that road so many times it's pathetic. But now, that fork in the road in my life has become one road. See that? One road. I only go one road. There is no more fork. Because I closed that. That path is gone. I will never go back to the fork in the road. That road of success, that road of sobriety is a very long road. And that road leads right up to heaven. So I'll just keep walking that path, that road, until I reach heaven one day. And while I'm walking, I'm going to educate you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help myself. And if anybody wants to take that walk of sobriety, get on the train. Get back on track. That train will take you right to the fork of the road. So don't go that way. Come walk with me. Because I only have one road. There is no more fork for me. And once you get to that point and you only have that one road, it will work better for you. Again, folks, thank you so much. I really love the fact that everybody comes and joins us as Take Your Life Back, because that's exactly what we're doing here. I want you to take your life back. Take the life back that God created for you, that He created in His own will. Take that life back, and you can take it back. It's not gone. Just because you do drugs and you do alcohol, it's not a wasted life. The only time you can't take your life back is if your life is gone. If you don't exist, you can't take it back. But as long as you're breathing, as long as you're looking at me, as long as you still have a higher power, as long as you have the ambition of seeking recovery, you can take your life back. Get back on track. Get on board. Let's go. I thank everybody very much for coming today. Again, Time to Heal. You find her on Pam on YouTube. You'll find her on Facebook. You have Starting Point. You find Dr. Luis Gonzalez at www.startingpointmn.com. You can also call him at 844-414-8444. You can also, for the hotline for the National Domestic Violence, please utilize this number. Listen, 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-SAFE. Utilize that number. For the number for the National Institute of Drug Abuse, utilize this one, 1-800-662-HELP. Both have 170 different languages they can translate to, and they both have chat lines, so you can chat. And all that is said and chatted is kept in utmost confidentiality. So folks, utilize them. I'm going to close this up now. I just want to say, a sober today makes for a better tomorrow. And if you believe it here, you can achieve it there in the theater, or you can achieve what you believe here at home, in your living room, your kitchen, your bedroom, wherever. And if it's raining outside at your house, let it be sunny in your kitchen or in your living room. Let the sunshine in, the positive feelings of sunshine, because blackness is negativity. That's all it is. So if it's black in your life, that is pure negativity. Let the sunshine come down on your head and let the positive thoughts come. Live a positive life. Be around positive people. Don't be around negativity. Stop the negativity. Say I can, not I can't. Say I want, not I won't. You get the message, and I hope you truly, truly let it absorb, because I truly care. I want you to have a sober day today so you can have a better tomorrow. So get back on track. I'll see you guys real soon. And always remember, have a sober day and a sober weekend, and God bless you.